I'm in charge. I'm not even taking my jacket off.
It was going to red. Now it's
I'd like to welcome you to the February 3rd West Des Moines City Council meeting. Please join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome back to City Hall. Please sign in.
Five members present.
Ryan, any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes, Your Honor.
Okay. Get a motion to approve it?
Move approval of the agenda as distributed.
All right, please vote.
Oh, it's so nice to be back in here. Back in the Senate.
5 yes.
All right, item 2 is citizens forum, which is the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the city council on any items that are not part of public hearings, item 6, or new business, item 7. All right, seeing no one, we'll move on to mayor, city council, and manager reports. Matt?
Yep, thank you, Mayor. First, well, I guess we got
Got it? Is it green?
Is that it?
There you go,
All right,
yep.
Perfect. Yeah, just a couple things. First, I just want to thank everybody that was involved with the budget meeting last Saturday. It was helpful to me to just better understand all the things that have happened over the last year and looking forward what everybody's looking to accomplish. So I appreciated that. Second, I attended the public services meeting this past week, and there was an important issue we talked about. Actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago, about a street reconstruction project going on in Valley Junction that could be quite disruptive. And it's actually on the agenda under 4L, talking about, I think, closing this 12th between Vine and Locust. And so I appreciated that there's going to be some additional effort to involve the residents and give them upfront kind of notice. And I think maybe even go door to door to let them know. And then the last thing I'd mention is last weekend I attended the Valley Junction Neighborhood Association meeting, and there have been some additional break-ins and car thefts, and through communications with Russ and Renee, I'm glad to see and hear from Chief Scott that there's some additional work that's going on down there to address those things at Valley Junction. So,
Okay,
thank you.
great. Kevin?
nothing this time, Your Honor.
Russ?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Greg?
We had our first community compliance meeting of the year, and I think that'll be addressed a little bit later when it comes to some changes to the code in regards to nuisances, and we'll talk about them then. But other than that, nothing to report.
All right, Renee?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would too like to say I really appreciated the budget workshop. Very nicely done. The packet, our finance guys do a phenomenal job of laying things out for us in such a wonderful fashion. Learn something every time we sit in on budget workshops. Also want to give a shout out to Bravo. A number of us were at the Bravo event. Our former colleague, former Councilman Jim Sandegger was chair. Did a great job this year, had some wonderful honorees. I certainly enjoyed watching Don and Margot Blumenthal be recognized for the many contributions that they make here in our community and community at large. So really enjoyed sharing that with my colleagues here on Saturday night. And so that concludes my report.
Okay, Tom?
We'll be having a workshop soon. I got to make sure we get everybody together on this, but in 2 weeks or 4 weeks on 3/5. So everything won't be solved that night, but we want to go through a process so we get a consensus from the council.
Okay. All right, item 4 is the consent agenda. Are there any items that any council member wants to pull? Otherwise, I take a motion for all of them.
Move approval.
Second.
All right, please vote.
5 yes.
All right, item 5, there's no old business tonight. Item 6, public hearings. Item 6A, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider the vacation of a storm drainage easement at 9141 Mills Civic Parkway. Vacate storm drainage easement along north and east edge of subject property initiated by Todd Herron. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
January 18th, 2020, in the Des Moines Register.
Have we received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
Right now be the time for anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on item 6A. All right. Seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. The council communication indicates there's no outstanding issues. And I note this came through Development and Planning Council as council committee as well. So we need a resolution to approve the vacation.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, please vote.
Five yes.
Item 6B, the council's being asked to continue this to the February 17th council
Move
meeting.
continuation.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Five yes.
Item 6C, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider the 2019-2020 fiscal year operating and capital budget amendment number 2, initiated by the City of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
January 24th, 2020, in the Des Moines Register.
Have we received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
Right now be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the City Council on item 6C. All right. Seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. And I know Russ gave us a pretty good overview of this at our prior meeting, but we need a resolution to approve budget amendment number 2.
Move approval.
Second.
Any other questions or comments on any of the items? All right, please vote.
Five yes.
6D, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider the fiscal year 2020-2021 proposed maximum property tax dollars initiated by the City of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
January 24th, 2020, in the Des Moines Register.
Have we received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now would be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the City Council on item 6D. All right. Seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Again, we discussed this at the budget workshop. This is a new requirement from the legislature for last year, and it's noted that we're not going to exceed the 1099 millage rate that's been part of all of our discussions. So does someone want to move approval of the maximum property tax dollars?
So moved. Second.
Any other additional questions or comments? All right, please vote.
Five yes.
Item 7, new business. 7A, Continental Plaza, Plat 3, 1625 Jordan Creek Parkway, subdivide property, 2 commercial lots, VKB Management. It's a resolution to approve and release the final plat, and there's no outstanding issues.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, please vote.
Five yes.
7B, Amendment to City Code, Title 4, Health and Safety Regulations, Chapter 4, Nuisances, modify the procedures and requirements for nuisances, city initiated. This is an ordinance for the first reading. There's no outstanding issues, but as Greg mentioned, it came through the Community Compliance Subcommittee.
Move consideration of the first reading.
Second.
Any other questions or comments?
I would just say that I really appreciate, I know some of this is cleanup, but some of this is actually allowing us to have more teeth in this ordinance to be able to come down on those that are habitual offenders. I know that there is one right now in my ward that the neighbors are getting quite fed up with. And appreciate the committee reviewing this and going through this. I think this is really going to help us out, like I said, for those that are habitual offenders that just aren't taking care of their property. So.
I think it should be said that it's so rare for something like this to be ever actually utilized, but it is nice to have it available in the case of need, as Kevin and I were in the committee meeting talking about it.
Absolutely, and you know, there's one in Russ's ward, and I know there's one down in the first ward as well. So it's not, you know, unique to just one part of the city, but at the same time, it's not, you know, a huge problem citywide. But we need a way of, you know, basically, like Russ said, putting more teeth into the ordinance so we got some leverage on them.
Okay, please vote.
Five yes. An ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019 by amending Title 4, Health and Safety Regulations, Chapter 4, Nuisances.
Move approval of the first reading.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Five yes.
Item 8, there are no items to receive, file, and/or refer. Item 9, other matters. Item 9A, Jamie, legislative updates.
Work at the 88th General Assembly has been busy as ever, with 165 bills introduced in week 1 and 168 bills in week 2. Last Thursday, I think there were 26 subcommittee meetings on the Senate side, so work has been very, very busy. Having said that, there's about 4 or 5 items that we're monitoring right now. Nothing of terrible significance to report. We're not registered on any bills at this time. Just waiting to gather more information. Our lobbyists have attended a few subcommittee meetings to gather information, but we're waiting to see if anything develops further. I can try to answer any questions.
Well, and just to remind people, we're part of the Metro Coalition as well, so I guess Urbandale and Ankeny are going to join, so it'd be,
There's been discussions about that. I'm not sure if the vote will take place now or wait until summer session.
because up until now, I think it was the 10 largest cities in Iowa, but I know
Correct.
there's discussions about asking Urbandale and Ankeny to join us. So not only do we have our own lobbyists, but we also have the Metro Coalition that works on particular issues of interest to us as
Correct.
well.
And the Metro is registered on a few bills, but I'm speaking just about West Des Moines specifically.
Okay. Any questions for Jamie? All right.
Thank you.
Does any council member have any other matters that they want to discuss tonight? All right, quiet group. We're adjourned.